Whatever. I guess there aren't any good movies showing right now anyway, so never mind. Forget I said anything. That was stupid.
This message paid for by people who think you and Tina should go out on a date sometime just to see how it goes.
That's so...
Hi, I'm Cookie, and I've got 99 problems, and irritable bowel syndrome is one. You telling me I came all this way for a one-player game? Come on! And the wrong answer of the game is brought to you by...
the CIA Outlet Store. It's a covert shop-operation.
If you happen to find our sponsor's wrong answer of the game, you'll be rewarded with big prizes and cash. So let's get to it.
Get ready, time for question. One.
Right off the bat, Toad the Wet Dream Sprocket. What dirty magazine would you most likely see an extremely horny Toad reading? Barely Legal Lizards, Toad Escorts, Play Frog. That's just perverse. Ready for this? A horny toad, sometimes called a horned toad or a horned frog, isn't actually a toad or frog at all. It's a lizard, so it would probably be into lizard porn. But honestly, who hasn't at least glanced at some lizard porn? You know, just out of curiosity at first to see what all the fuss is about, but then after a while you sort of start to see the appeal. Maybe even check out a lizard strip club once or twice. It's nothing to be ashamed of, just a natural part of growing up. May I introduce Cornering the Market on Family Fun. Suppose Hasbro comes out with an alternate version of the game Monopoly called Oligopoly. How many winners should there be per game? No winners, only one winner, more than one winner, but not too many, or hundreds of thousands. Isn't the original Monopoly long enough already? Why didn't you pick this? An oligopoly is when a small amount of producers, at least two, control a particular market. So there should be at least two winners at the end of the game. And you know who the loser would be? The consumer. And this has been Cookie Masterson with your unnecessary political comment of the day.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
Try this on for size. A Mr. T rash. Trash time.
Looking through your trash bag. What's it say about you? Funky trash.
Okay, so we have some celebrity trash in here for me to go through. What do we got? Lots of ripped up pictures in here. We got half of a picture of Sean Combs, so you can't see who he's standing next to. Half of a picture of Ben Affleck, so you can't see who he's standing next to. And half of a picture of Mark Anthony, so you can't see who he's standing next to. Weird. Whose trash is this? Jennifer Aniston's? Jennifer Lopez? If we could find the other halves of these pictures, it's a good bet Lopez would be in them, because Lopez has dated all three of these dudes in the past. This is her trash. There's also half a picture of John Travolta and half a picture of Nicolas Cage. I didn't know J-Lo dated them. Oh, this is an old VHS of the movie Face Off. I didn't know J-Lo liked Face Off. Here we have the eviction of John Arbuckle. Which of these comic strip characters would be able to rent an apartment with a no pets allowed policy? Dilbert, Charlie Brown, Little Orphan Annie, or Calvin? Charlie Brown, Dilbert, and Little Orphan Annie all have pet dogs. The closest thing Calvin has to a pet is his stuffed tiger, Hobbs. And listen to me, all you potentially angry letter writers, a stuffed animal is not a pet. But if I were a landlord, I wouldn't let Calvin be a tenant. If I've learned anything from the back of pickup trucks, it's that Calvin pees on things. With attitude. take a good look at. It's all staged, and this dis or dat is crying in the jacuzzi room. I'm gonna read off 7 titles, and for each one you tell me if it's the name of a work by musical playwright Stephen Sondheim or a reality competition show. If it's Stephen Sondheim, press the left arrow. If it's a reality show, press the right arrow. Okay, let's move. So you think you can dance? Do I hear a waltz? Anyone can whistle. Murder? Getting away with murder. Assassin. Doggy. I had a great time, but I do not have a rose for you. Musicals are a lot like reality television. When I'm watching them, I totally buy it, but then later I'm like, hey, there's no way in real life the Kardashians would just randomly break into song like that. That's the end of a thrilling first round, and you haven't even broken a sweat. Remember, in round 2, every question is worth double. And hint, hint, our wrong answer to the game is still out there waiting to be picked. Let's get back to the action. Bucker up for Getting Genie with It. Based on his name, who would be most likely to rap about DNA molecules? Wiz Khalifa, T.I., Jay-Z, or 2 Chainz? Check, please. Want to see the right answer? A DNA molecule is made of 2 polynucleotide chains known as the double helix. 2 Chainz songs have a lot in common with the field of genetics. I have no idea what any of the words mean.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Here's one for you. I can't stop screaming! So, I've got a print of the Edvard Munch painting The Scream, one of the most recognizable paintings in the world, here in the studio. And I can't stop looking at it. I think it's making me a little bit crazy. What's going on with that weird screamer? Besides the blood red sky, what else in the painting The Scream could that dude be screaming about? Those dogs over there are freaking me out! Is this railing I'm standing? The screaming figure in The Scream is standing on a bridge or maybe a walkway next to some kind of railing. Yeah, I've got to replace this print with something less disturbing. I think I might have a framed picture somewhere of me and my cat's trip to the Grand Canyon. Oh yes, here it is. Still a surprising amount of screaming in this.
Follow me down to the sea.
This one's called Adios, Strawberry Fields. Which of these could not be a foreign language translation of the Beatles song Hello, Goodbye? Ciao, ciao, aloha, aloha, konnichiwa, konnichiwa, or salut, salut. Ciao, aloha, and salut can all be used to say either hello or goodbye, but the Japanese word konnichiwa is only used as a greeting. But instead of saying goodbye, the Japanese just throw a smoke bomb and disappear before the air clears. Or maybe that's just the ninjas. And now, reading Rainbow. Hosting solo can be a lot of work. That's why every once in a while I like to call my good buddy Billy O'Brien to help take some of the pressure off me.
Trasher, you datey, this Jot is a piece of cake.
One's made of skin, one's made of wood, so who's the dummy?
Not me.
So I see you've brought your word-a-day calendar with you today, Billy.
Yes, today's word is prolific.
You mean prolific?
That's what I said, prolific. So tell me this. Considering how many books he wrote, which of these authors was the most prolific? Arthur Lee, Truman Capote, Isaac Asimov. You're knee-deep in cold blood.
Here's what a right answer looks like.
Isaac Asimov wrote nearly 500 books in his lifetime, making him the most prolific of these authors by far.
So, Billy, learned any other interesting words from your word-a-day calendar?
Yes, anti-disestablishmentarianism.
I'm not gonna even try to piece that one together. Let's try. I want to breathe like Mike. What might Michael Air Jordan be called if his nickname were changed to reflect the composition of dry air on Earth? Michael mostly carbon dioxide Jordan? Michael mostly oxygen Jordan? Smart people choose this. The air is made up of about 78% nitrogen. The rest is oxygen, argon, and trace amounts of Scottie Pippen. Step right up to the Jack Attack. Well, don't mind me then. Here's your clue. Bite me. What bit them? Good luck. That's all she wrote! I got bitten by a snake once. Nothing bad happened afterwards, so I don't think it was poisonous. Although, when I said once, I mean about 2 minutes ago, and also, I don't remember my left hand being twice the size of my right hand. Also, everything's getting really, yeah, I think that was bad chili I ate this morning. Whoa! Hi, I'm Cookie Masterson, and I don't think my attempt to clone a dinosaur turned out right. All by yourself? Yeah, well, wouldn't be the first time. And your wrong answer of the game is being sponsored by
Underwear Innovations, Inc. In your pants since 1922.
Find the wrong answer associated with our sponsor to get yourself some sweet prizes and bonus cash. All right, let's make history.
Get ready, time for question. One.
First question. Bywatch. Based on what he's most famous for, which of these explorers could be described as Bay Curious? Hernando de Soto, Vasco de Balboa, Sir Henry Hudson, for whom Hudson Bay is named, extensively explored the giant body of water. But who hasn't explored a major body of water a few times in college? And on its way, where the booze cruise ends, and it's time to board the dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 items, and for each one I want you to tell me if it's an event on Kid Rock's Chillin' the Most cruise, or a poem by renowned poet Shel Silverstein. If it's on the Kid Rock cruise, press the left arrow. If it's a poem by Shel Silverstein, press the right arrow. Alrighty then, here it comes. Hug of War. Speak. Redneck Prom. This. Crowded. Beers and. Try not. That was ba wada ba da bang a dang just okay. I was thinking about going on the Kid Rock cruise, but I already used up my vacation days going ziplining with Hoobastank.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
How about constipated words? Suppose Reader's Digest editorial guidelines were similar to a reader's digestive system. Which of these phrases in the magazine would have the correct colon placement? Small intestine, cecum, rectum, anus. Small intestine, cecum, rectum, anus. Small intestine, cecum, rectum, anus. Or small... Sucks to be you. Let me show you something. Digested food moves through the small intestine, then the large intestine, which is comprised of the cecum, then the colon, then the rectum, and then the anus. So there would be a colon in between the cecum and the rectum. Unless you had a very small meal, then you would only need a semicolon. Heyo! Take a stab at what happens in Vegas is historically inaccurate. So, there's a hotel and casino in Las Vegas called Excalibur. It got me thinking, why did they name it after King Arthur's sword when they could have named it after King Arthur's castle, Camelot? Would that have made just too much sense? If Las Vegas's Excalibur were more accurate to the story of King Arthur's Excalibur, the hotel would be shaped like a sword, not a castle, and probably built where? In the waters of the Bellagio fountain? On top of the Luxor pyramid? Hanging in the sky? Excalibur was kept underwater by the Lady of the Lake until she gave it to King Arthur. So under the Bellagio fountain would be the most logical place for the Vegas Excalibur. And to keep things accurate to the legend of King Arthur, everyone at this Excalibur would be treated like a king. There would be fine drinks and foods, and then you'd be murdered by your illegitimate son, mothered by your half-sister. Welcome to Vegas!
5 fingers!
I call this one Petty Please. Because it never made the Billboard Hot 100 list, which Tom Petty song is the pettiest? Free Fallin', American Girl, Running Down a Dream. Ooh, say it with me now. Your score is yes, lowering. Oh, you're gonna kick yourself. Mary Jane's Last Dance, Running Down a Dream, and Free Fallin' all made it into the Billboard's top 40. But Petty's classic American Girl never even made it to the Hot 100. Speaking of Top 100, Tom Petty is in my Hot 100 list of prettiest blondes, right below Gwyneth Paltrow and right above Miss Piggy. We've finished round 1, and your score is pretty much just fairly okay. Remember, I'm doubling the value of each question in round 2. And remember, big cash prizes can be yours if you find the wrong answer to the game. Okay, here it comes. Open wide for the California Pizza Kitchen. Ah, this pizza smells great. And let me tell you, I'm pretty picky about my pizza. I'll only eat it if it's authentically Italian. That's why I always order toppings that represent the colors of the Italian flag. So, can you guess what toppings I ordered on my authentic Italian flag pizza? Green peppers, marshmallows, and cherries, corn niblets, black licorice, and orange slices, cherries, marshmallows... I think you're confusing the Italian flag with the American flag, a common mistake that nobody ever makes. Next time, try this. The Italian flag is green, white, and red, so I ordered my pizza with green peppers, marshmallows, and cherries to give it that authentic Italian look and taste. Oh, yeah, that's authentic. Okay. Yeah, this is good and authentic. Oh, no.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Coming up next, the Westminster Snub Show. Suppose the American Kennel Club decides to hire a bouncer to keep out all the non-AKC recognized dog breeds. What instructions might the manager give the bouncer on his first day? No matter what you do, don't let any boxers in. Your job is to... Boxers, St. Bernards, and Boston Terriers are all officially recognized breeds of the American Kennel Club. But American Bulldogs are not, so the bouncer would have to turn them away. But only after they made a big show out of staring at their ID for 20 minutes.
Follow me down to the sea.
Say hello to MVP Your Pants. Which of these MVPs would have had to travel the farthest if he flew from his team's home city to Disney World? The Packers' Aaron Rodgers, the Giants' Eli Manning, the Cowboys' Troy Aikman, or the Ravens' Ray Lewis? Nuh-uh. Were you thinking of this one? Green Bay, Wisconsin is approximately 1,170 miles by air from Orlando, Florida, making it the farthest distance traveled for any of these players. Or to put it in football terms, Rodgers would have to gain 2,059,200 yards through the air. Why not try? They miracle grow up so fast. Which of these dolls would be most closely related to a Cabbage Patch Kid? A cornfield kid, a broccoli garden kid, a beach farm? Let us reflect on how wrong this is. No, I'll get this. Broccoli is in the same family as cabbage, along with cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. But whenever the Cabbage Patch Kids throw a family reunion, the Brussels Sprout Kids' invitations always conveniently get lost in the mail. Here's one I like to call Beasts of the Southern Worldwide.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this right, there will be an extra $1,000 coming your way. Put these mythological creatures in order of their rumored homes from north to south. Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, the Chupacabra. Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, Chupacabra. Loch Ness is in Scotland. Bigfoot famously hails from the northwestern United States, which is further south than Scotland. And the Chupacabra hails from sunny Puerto Rico. That'll net you an extra $1,000. But if all this monster talk has you scared, don't worry. These creatures don't exist. My evil leprechaun friend told me. Isn't that right, Terrence? He's cute. Brace yourself for the attack. When you see two clues that match, press your A button. Oh, you know all about the attack. Lovely. Here's your clue. Greed, expectations. Who's the greedy character? Good luck. all you greedy people out there, I would just like to say that money can't make you happy. Revenge makes you happy. Sure, money helps. But if you have to spend more than $7 on a revenge plot, you're overthinking it.
You don't know Jack!
My name is Jaden Funk, and I want to teach you slam poetry. But talk is cheap, right? Cheap like a toy made in China by kids in sweatshops working 9 to 5 like Dolly Parton. The Interruption. But
Do you think you can cover just the last...
Hi, I'm Cookie Masterson, and if things go according to plan, I'll soon be your new Vice Overload. I see you're all alone. Try not to be frightened. And our wrong answer of the game is brought to you by...
Just Bats, the store that only sells bats. Shh, don't excite them. Ah, bats! So many bats!
Try to choose the wrong answer, brought to you by our sponsor, to get prizes and cash. Okay, let's get this show on the road.
Get ready, time for question. One!
First, pin pals. If you were only permitted to pin non-pointy pins on Pinterest, what pins could you pin? Lapel pins, push pins, safety pins, or bobby pins? A bobby pin is a hairpin that does not have a pointy end. I finally joined Pinterest. I've been on there nonstop for about 6 months now, and I'm starting to suspect it isn't targeted at men.
Oh, mama gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Tell you so.
Next up, I marvel at history. Based on his origin story, which of these superhero alter egos could Marie Curie empathize with? Tony Stark, Clark Kent? Just like Bruce Banner, Marie Curie was a scientist whose work exposed her to large amounts of radioactivity. But instead of the radiation turning her into a giant green superhero, she later died. Coincidentally, her dying words were, "Don't let Edward Norton play me in the movie."
Dance with me, Disco 3.
Here's a good one. The Flower Boy. I've been crunching up fortune cookies all day to make my fish breading, and it's about time I actually ate one of them.
Cookie, fortune, cookie, fortune, cookie, Masterson.
All right, then. What do we have? Keep your eyes peeled. Okay, keep my eyes peeled. So I'll get LASIK surgery. Which eye part should I tell them not to patch back up after they slice it open? The iris, the pupil, the retina, or the The eyes don't have it. Now pay attention. In LASIK surgery, the outer layer of the eye, the cornea, is sliced and then reattached. Peeling my eyes doesn't sound terribly safe. I think I'll peel this banana instead. Yeah, I'll just throw this on the floor and... Whoa! Ow! Ow! My cornea! Next, stop this burger tyranny. If Burger King were famous for giving their customers Hobson's choice, what would their slogan be? Have it your way? Have it this one way or no way at all? Have it any way except the way you want? Or have it no way at all? Sorry, no takebacks. Allow me. Hobson's choice is another way of saying take it or leave it. I love ordering at Burger King. It's the only 30 seconds of my day when I feel like I have control of my life. Up next, and scene. And it's time for Dis or Dat. I'm going to read the last name of 7 famous Anns, and for each one, I want you to tell me if their first name is Ann with an E or Ann with no E. If it's Ann, press the left arrow. If it's Ann, press the right arrow. Ready? Let's go. Hathaway. Berlin. Bancroft. Frank. Curry. Like Anne Boleyn, you done lost your head. I bet Anns with E's think they're so much better than everybody else, but the joke's on them. Because due to the rules of alphabetic filing, Ann with no E would go before Ann with an E. So get in line, Ann with an E, because if you're in some strange venue that alphabetizes by first name, then you need to go to the back. That about does it for round one. And it looks like you might be getting the hang of this. Don't forget, all the questions in round two are worth double. Okay, let's see what's next. Coming up, use your noodle. There are only a few things I get excited for. 1, Christmas. 2, whenever I get to fire someone. And 3, when Kraft releases new macaroni noodle shapes. Ah, Phineas and Ferb. How do they get the noodles to look like them? If Kraft Macaroni and Cheese released a special noodle shape called Kraft Marconi and Cheese, what shape would the noodles be? Little light bulbs, little telephones, little airplanes, or little radios? Marconi was the inventor of the radio, so that's probably what the Marconi and Cheese would resemble. I'm eating some mac and cheese right now. Oh, cool. Well, what character are these noodles? It's like Tube Man or Worms? Are these worms? Who the hell made worm macaroni?
Cookie, that's just regular macaroni. That's the way it looks. Tubes.
What are you talking about? Regular macaroni is shaped like Pokemon.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Try this on for size. How to host a death party. You know how a lot of those how to host a murder party games have punny titles like An Affair to Dismember and The Maiming of the Shrew? Well, tell me this. Which of these how to host a murder party games would not be based on a real-life murder? Bum Rap, the murder of Notorious B.I.G., Gorillas in the Morgue, the murder of Diane Fossey, sexual... Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. Oh, honestly. Fashion designer Gianni Versace was murdered, but not Giorgio Armani. I like to go to the murder mystery parties and spend the entire night insisting that society is to blame.
Follow me down to the sea.
Why not try... Oh my god, they ate Kenny! Which South Park character would a coprophagous organism most likely try to consume? Towley, Mr. Kitty, Eric Cartman, or Mr. Hanky the Christmas... Coprophagous organisms feed on excrement. You know, like Mr. Hanky the Christmas poo. So, heads up. If you try to insult a coprophagous organism by saying, eat shit, it'll just look at you and reply, yes, yes I do. Say hello to been misbehaving. You know what they say, one man's trash is another man's trivia question.
Looking through your trash bag. What's it say about you? What's it say about you? Funky trash.
Alright, let's see. We have an owner's manual for a boxing robot, gloves with holes cut into 3 of the knuckles, an old suit from the 1800s that smells like it's been in the sewer. Whose trash is this? Arnold Schwarzenegger's? Daniel... Hugh Jackman starred in Real Steel, a movie about fighting robots, played Wolverine who has 3 metal claws popping out of his knuckles, and played Jean Valjean in Les Miserables, a man who drags his daughter's lover out of the Parisian sewers. And look here, could it be? It is! It's his original gentleman's tailcoat from Kate and Leopold! I'm so keeping this. Let's try punctuation. Which of these movies does not have an exclamation point in its title? Airplane, Moulin Rouge, Kick-Ass, or The Informant? You're really good at the can't. It was begging to be picked. Airplane, Moulin Rouge, and The Informant all have exclamation points in their titles, but Kick-Ass somehow doesn't. Personally, I think all movie titles should end with an exclamation point. It adds a sense of excitement. The Social Network! Ordinary People! All's quiet on the Western Front! Welcome. You already know the rules. Off you go. Express yourself. This Jack Attack is running express. Good luck. There you have it! Well, we're running short on time, so I'm just gonna give you the express version of my usual farewell. You dumb. Goodbye.
You don't know Jack!
If we could clear all of the...
I am Cookie Masterson, and this goat screams just like a human. Couldn't find a partner? Gee, it's kind of like a metaphor. Do you know what that means? And today's wrong answer of the game is brought to you by...
Fun Plus One sidecars. Don't be discouraged by how insanely dangerous they are. They're fun.
Pick the wrong answer associated with our sponsor to win a fabulous prize and big cash. Okay, let's not waste any more time.
Get ready, time for question. One.
Right off the top, nothing but treble. I've been taking piano lessons in the studio lately and...
Pay attention, Mr. Masterson.
Ow! I don't want to practice anymore. I'm hungry. I want to eat my bagel.
Fine, but eat it to the rhythm.
Whatever. Based on the musical note a bagel resembles, what should a full measure of 4/4 music sound like when I eat this bagel? Munch, 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 munch. Get out of here! Seriously, get out of here. It's so obvious. A bagel resembles a whole note, which means you hold one note uninterrupted for 4 beats.
Now back to playing, Mr. Masterson. Let's practice your scales.
I gotta be honest with you, lady. I don't know what the f*** you're talking about.
Oh, Mama, gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Say it so.
Next up, emphasis on the turd.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And there's some extra gravy for a right answer. Arrange these foul things in a turducken in order of innermost to outermost. Duck, turkey, chicken. Duck, chicken, turkey, turkey, duck, chicken. Interesting choice. This would have worked. A turducken is composed of a chicken stuffed inside a duck that's stuffed inside a turkey. I'm into organic foods, so I only eat turducken when the animals voluntarily choose to stuff themselves that way on a free-range farm.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
Next, under the covers journalism, and it's a this or that. I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one, tell me if it's one of the top 100 magazines in the U.S. by circulation, or someone in the AVN Porn Star Hall of Fame. If it's a magazine, press the left arrow. If it's a porn legend, press the right arrow. Okay, we're off. Vanity. Ebony. Essence. Allure. Sunset. Serenity. Lucky. Didn't quite get the money shot. Another thing that magazines and porn stars often have in common is that they both often have inserts. This one's called The Muse Room. What could not be inspired by any of the 9 Greek muses? The singing of Rebecca Black, the comedy of Dane Cook, the 9 muses presided over the various departments of art and science, including singing, comedy, and drama, but not magic, the skill of Chris Angel. True story, I encountered a muse this morning. She came up from behind me, whispered in my ear, and inspired me to hand over my wallet and cell phone. Wait, or I got robbed. No, f*** me. 5 fingers! Take a stab at foam on the range. Imagine I'm drinking a cappuccino in Capistrano. Considering the flying animal the town is known for, why might I want to cover my drink with a lid? Because a swallow might poop in it? Because a crow... I so wanted you to pick this one. San Juan Capistrano, California, often just called Capistrano, is known for the annual return of the swallows to the local mission. There's even a song about it called When the Swallows Come Back to Capistrano. Which reminds me of my favorite tongue twister. I swallowed swallow poop that I pooped out in a swallow swallowed. Yeah, that's how I prepare to host this game every day. Round 1 is complete, and hopefully you'll do even better in the next round. Keep in mind, all the prizes are doubled in round 2. And lest you forget, the wrong answer of the game is still there for the taking. Okay, we're bringing it on. Here we have, I have lots of baggage. Say the TSA lets me bring the sword of Damocles on my flight. Based on its traditional position, where would the flight attendant most likely make me store it? Under the seat in front of me, in the seat next to me, in the overhead compartment, or in the rear of the plane? Never put a sword in the rear. The correct answer is... The sword of Damocles is from an ancient Greek story where a man's life is in constant peril from a sword dangling above his head. The term is often used as a metaphor for impending doom. That was the best impending doom metaphor the ancient Greeks could come up with because home loans hadn't been invented yet.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Here's one for you. Time for a whittle yodeling. It's been a little quiet around here. A little too quiet.
You would say that, wouldn't you? Ah!
One's made of skin, one's made of wood, so who's the dummy?
Not me.
Hey, Billy, why you all dressed up?
I just got back from mountain climbing in the Alps, Dunny, which brings out a good point. Which of these mountains is in the Alps? Mount Kilimanjaro, the Matterhorn, Mount McKinley, or the
The Matterhorn is a mountain located along the border of the Swiss and Italian Alps. Why were you in the Alps?
Visiting family. I have a cousin who got turned into a pair of ski tolls.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Billy.
Follow me down to the sea.
Coming up next, Don Double Knotted. The old Andy Griffith show was great, but I think for modern audiences to enjoy it, there would have to be some more gritty crime drama and violence. If Deputy Barney Fife got shot and ended up with as many holes as there are in the musical instrument called a fife, what might he yell? And I've been hit one time, and I've been hit three. Back to the drunk tank, Otis. Here's where the money is. A fife is a side-blown flute with 6 holes, so Barney would have 6 holes in him. And that is what Barney Fife has in common with 50 Cent. Here's a good one. What do dragons dream of? So, I've been listening a lot to that Imagine Dragons song, Radioactive, and it's weird because the singer keeps claiming over and over again that he's radioactive when it's obviously not true. Those Imagine Dragons certainly have quite the imagination. Because it's considered stable, which of these elements would just be imagining things if it sang the Imagine Dragons lyrics, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Uranium, radium, barium, or plutonium. Barium is a stable, non-radioactive element. It has isotopes that are radioactive, but so does every element. Uranium, radium, and plutonium are all unstable radioactive elements. Note to self, gotta stop drinking so much uranium. Open wide for get off my snack. What's another way to say fruit by the foot? Fruit by the this, fruit by the this, fruit by the this, or this single apostrophe stands for a foot. The double apostrophe denotes inches. Personally, I prefer to eat my fruit by the meter. It makes converting it into poop so much less complicated. Brace yourself. Ah, I see you don't need me for anything. It's all yours. Manimals, what's your mail called? Good luck. What's the game? It's not as easy to find a blanket term for all males of the human species, but to be honest, douchebag is pretty close.
You don't know Jack!
However, it's just the small burnt ones. Thank you.
If we could refocus that light so that it's not in my face, that would be great. Refocus light number 17. Thank you.
And cue the nose blow sound effect.
Okay, is anybody listening to me right now? Because my mom's here and she...
Hi, I'm Cookie, and I knew you would come. I dreamt it. No friends, huh? Would you just get out of prison? And our wrong answer of the game is sponsored by...
Cookie Masterson's Closet, featuring random items from a sad and meaningless life.
Sniff out our sponsor's wrong answer of the game, and you'll end up with a great prize and serious cash. So, why not get started?
Get ready, time for question. One.
First on the docket, let's get Shark Tanked. What would not go into a Mark Cuban sandwich? $1 million worth of ham, $1 million worth of Swiss cheese, $1 million worth of sauerkraut, or... You just couldn't cut the mustard. Where's that confounded right answer? A Cuban sandwich includes, among other things, ham, Swiss cheese, and mustard, but not sauerkraut. Honestly, though, I prefer a Donald Trump sandwich. It's similar to a Cuban, except it's topped with a giant mess of onion strings. May I introduce the rich and the horsepowerful? Not counting umpires, how would you describe a game of regulation polo in terms of total horsepower? 8 horsepower, 10 horsepower, 16 horsepower, or 1... excuse me. Correct answer, show yourself. A regulation polo team has 4 players, each riding a horse. When both teams are on the field, that's 8 total horses, or in terms of horsepower, 8 HP. I think every sport should be played while riding horses. Basketball on horseback, tennis on horseback, horse racing on horseback. That's where a jockey is riding a horse that is riding another horse.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
I call this one Jumpin' Jack Hash. And this Dis or Dat is open 24 hours. I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one, I want you to tell me if it's a way to order your hash browns at the restaurant chain Waffle House, or a song by the Rolling Stones. If it's Waffle House hash browns, press the left arrow. If it's the Rolling Stones, press the right arrow. All right, let's get started. Smothered. Covered. Shattered. All the country. Well, you can't always get what you want. The Rolling Stones only ever order their hash browns one way, with extra hash. Take a good look at It Takes Tattoo to Tango.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And as usual, give me a correct answer and I'll reward you with an extra $1,000. Put these tattoos in order of where they appear on the person's body from highest to lowest. Mike Tyson's Maori tattoo, Justin Bieber's Jesus figure tattoo, Lisbeth Salander's dragon tattoo. Mike Tyson, Justin Bieber, Lisbeth Salander, Justin Bieber. Mike Tyson's Maori tattoo is on his face, Lisbeth Salander's dragon tattoo is across her back, and Justin Bieber's tattoo of the figure of Jesus is on his calf. That just earned you an extra $1,000. I've thought about getting a tattoo, but my doctor recommends I let several of my other infections heal first.
5 fingers!
And now, coral doesn't count. Which island is still holding its V card? Nerdy Cyprus, Geeky St. Thomas, Dweeby Trinidad, or Sweaty New Guinea? Having your V card is a way of saying you're a virgin. None of the other islands here are part of the U.S. or British Virgin Islands, but St. Thomas is a U.S. Virgin Island. At least you know it doesn't have any STDs, which is a lot more than I can say for the Caymans. That'll wrap up round 1. And lucky for you, there's room for improvement. Keep in mind, in round 2, everything is worth twice as much. And don't forget, the wrong answer of the game is still out there waiting for you. Okay then, here we go. How about you're Heston my patience? If instead of a planet of the apes, Charlton Heston crash-landed on a planet of the apiaries, what might you hear him exclaim while being taken prisoner? Get your stinking feathers off me, you damn dirty parrot! Get your stinking claws off me, you damn dirty... An apiary is a place where colonies of bees are kept for the production of honey. Yes, little-known fact, honey is not actually made by bears. Stupid lying bear-shaped honey containers. You gotta be careful when gathering that honey, though, because bees don't just give it up. You have to pry it from their cold, dead mandibles.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
And on its way, better homes and graveyards. Suppose the killer from Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart appeared on an episode of HGTV's House Hunters. Considering where he hid the body of his victim, what feature would he look for in a house? Lots of extra closet space? And then, watch how easy this is. The killer in The Telltale Heart hid his victim's body under the floorboards, so he'd want to be able to remove those things without too much hassle. Personally, though, I think he should have gone with that 2-bedroom colonial with the granite kitchen countertops. Sure, there's not a lot of space for hiding murdered bodies, but the neighborhood has such great schools. You're alone in the dark here. But you won't be alone for much longer because you've just won a girlfriend mop from my closet. Come out of the closet with a hot babe. This wrong answer of the game nets you a handsome $8,000. Yeah, you're welcome.
Follow me down to the sea.
Up next, bring the champagne. What do an NFL football game and a wine bottle have in common? They both have cork, they both have a tackle, they both have a sack. In American football, one team can kick the ball to the other via a punt, which is also the name of the large indentation on the bottom of a wine bottle. And if you're a fan of football, you simply must go to California. It's home to some of the most verdant football fields in the world. It's time for Kiss the Cookie. I'm really excited because today I get to test my brand new Fortune Cookie Opener 3000. I ordered it from the Sky Mall catalog. I just started up and, wow! This thing works like a dream!
Cookie, fortune, cookie necessary.
I gotta be more careful. I almost cut my fortune up. Try not to let things get under your skin. Alright, so then what skin condition should I make sure not to contract? Eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, or scabies? Scabies is a skin condition caused by tiny mites that burrow under your skin. I definitely don't want that. I've got enough trouble with this mouse that somehow got trapped under my skin. Oh, I hate it when he runs up my back. May I introduce a gibberish question? How would I spell this question backwards? Strawcap sith noit sook, leps I dua wa, strawcap noit sick sit lems I dua wa, strawcap noit suok, sith leps I dua wa, or very careful. Yep, that's the question spelled backwards. I always find it so folksy and funny when somebody says, you've got it bass-ackwards instead of bass-ackwards. I mean bass-ackwards. No, I mean bass-ackwards. Are you kidding me? Now I can't say it right. Bass-ackwards. Okay, ass backwards. Thank you. Step right up to... Okay, if that's how you want it. Here's the clue. A probing film. You directed Aliens in what movie? Good luck. That's all she wrote! Giving direction to aliens on set is hard, trust me. I'm doing a staged adaptation of Predator, and the alien lead has been difficult to work with. No, you're just saying the lines, Predator. I need you to feel them.